They don't understand our love. They say we're not good enough. No matter what they say, oh, we are. We're having the time of our lives.
Hello people, my name is Tabia Prince-Ho, and you're welcome to the maiden edition of Walk the Talk. Walk the Talk is a chat fest that provides a female perspective on today's headlines and contemporary topics, including food, fashion, current affairs, and health. I have a co-host on the show, Elvina Ibru, and a guest co-host who will be joining us from time to time. We'll be discussing current events, interviewing a wide range of celebrities, decision makers, and everyday people. I promise you gist, fun, knowledge, and a lot of laughs. Let's take our first commercial break. We'll be right back.
Having the time of our lives.
Welcome back to Walk the Talk. I'm here with my co-host, Elvina Ibru, and we're ready to start discussing this new topic with the lovely Mrs. Jumoke Adenowo. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tabia. Thank you, Helen. It's good to be here.
So, we just wanted to find out from you, how you would define marriage, especially in this new era where women are a lot more independent and men sometimes, occasionally, let's put it that way, have an issue dealing with that.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
What would I say that marriage is all about to me?
Yes.
Marriage is about purpose. The fact that you as a woman, you have a reason for living. The man has a reason for being alive. We're not mistakes. So we come together in marriage so that I can help you. We can form a team to get to that destination that we want to get to. So marriage is about me teaming up with somebody so I can express what God created me to be. So being independent is not, it's not a term I would use in marriage. Marriage is about interdependency. That is, I'm complete in myself. I'm not trying to look for you to complete me, but we can both depend on each other so we can reach our goal. So the question of he provides for me, doesn't provide for me becomes totally secondary because it's not a financial transaction.
Okay, that's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly it, because it seems like in today's society, especially with a lot of younger women, that financial aspect behind marriage is a very big issue, and possibly even the reason for the failure of quite a few marriages. I don't know if you agree.
Oh, well, if we're going to be truthful, what causes most failures in marriage? Communication, sex, and money. But in our country, it's a lot to do with money. And it's a function. Marriage is not isolated from the environment we operate in. It's a function of the environment. We've got serious poverty problems.
True.
So sometimes a woman looks at it or a man looks at it that let me use marriage to sort this financial or fiduciary issue I also have. But that is not what marriage is supposed to be about. It doesn't become the focus in a place where there's a welfare system like in England, for instance. You don't marry for the money there because, well, the state takes care of you. Or here, every decision you take, you have to think about the financial aspect too. But marriage is for purpose and destiny.
But what about what else is said? Appropriate age to get married or the right age to get married. We have a lot of people who will tell you that, oh, men, he's still being a boy, he has to do this, do that. Women, time is going, your biological clock, or simply don't let them think. In other words, it's like a product. You're past your sell-by date.
Yes,
Exactly. So in that case, can one actually say that there is a right age or approximately, or what should you be, because people get confused about that too in this rush.
Actually, let's be very realistic. One, you shouldn't be a child bride. We established that. We shouldn't do a yearly man. But apart from that, what age?
True.
You should know yourself. You should know your purpose. You should know who you are. You should be a whole person. You shouldn't be getting into marriage and somebody else can tell you who you are. Because this is where the problem is. They tell you who you are, you don't like who they said it is, and then later on in life, it doesn't work. Just a few years down the line. So you should be clear. These are my goals. This is who I am. This is who I want to be. Before you can decide who you are going with to become who you want to be.
Yeah.
Well, so what would be your final word to a couple going towards the idea of marriage? And then another word again for those who are in the marriage. How do they achieve that, the long haul, which is growing up all together, being each other's friends, appreciating each other, always being able to, you can depend on me, I can depend on you. That symbiotic.
Well, Helen, you've said it all already. You said it all already. It's appreciating each other, being there for each other. Realizing first that you should marry your friend, not just someone who titillates you, but your friend, somebody who you respect, who you trust, someone who you want to be with you in a storm. You know what I'm trying to say? Exactly. And then also realize that it's hard work. So if you keep the back door open, you're going to escape. Yes. But if you have it in mind that it's for life, it's for the long haul, and you don't leave respect out of it, it will work. Because it's found out, psychologists have found out that a marriage can survive any emotion apart from disrespect. If you despise each other, you will invariably break up. But if I'm angry, if I'm sad, if it's unforgiveness, we can work at it. But once it's a case of you despise each other, don't let that creep into your relationship. Keep the respect.
Keep the respect. Very wise words.
Thank you
very much for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take a commercial break, and when we get back, we'll be joined by 2 other guests with very interesting views. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
We're having the time of our lives.
Marriage. What is the big deal about marriage? That is a question I ask myself at least 2 times a week. Well, let's even split it into 2. Obviously, there is ridiculous amounts of pressure. Sometimes when you are so in a rush to get married at an early age, maybe let's just say 24 or 25, you haven't even reached anything near the peak of your career. You're just starting out. You don't even know what you want from life, But my thinking is that, if you take your time and wait a while and just see where things are, maybe by the time you are 28 or 29, you can make a better decision. And maybe you can even say, okay, maybe this guy, Seth, that I'm with is actually not the guy I want, Maybe his views as to what I want to do don't sit well with me. I think because of that pressure, a lot of women throw that question away and just say, I found a man, let me just get on with it. On the guy side, there is some pressure, but it's nowhere near the women. However, I think I've heard some things that, to get promotion or to be taken seriously by other business associates. They take married men more seriously. Say, yes, this one is responsible. He has obligations. Yes, we can do business with this one. Whereas, you're a single guy, you're 35. Even from women, they'll be looking at you and say, see, what are you doing? You're 35, you're not married.
We're having the time of our lives.
Welcome back on the show. I'm Tabia Principal, and we're still here to walk the talk. Our guests can't wait to get started. We have a multi-talented actress. Please welcome Monalisa Chinda.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you. Our second guest on the show is also an actress and an on-air personality of note. She's Elvina Ibru.
Hello.
Yes. So we're going to be talking about marriage and the societal pressure that seems to go with it. So the first thing we want to ask is, why does it seem like women in Nigeria and Africa generally are always in such a rush to get married?
It's always been a thing of irritation to me. I'm very frank about this marriage. Must you marry? Is it by force? I'm not married. I'm 41. I've never wanted to be married. I don't want to be married now, and I doubt I will ever want to be married. It's just not in my makeup. When I was much younger, I had these, the normal Cinderella syndrome, if you know what I mean. One day, and when I say much younger, as in much before I started having sex, when I was about 15, and then for some reason, as I started growing up and I started maturing, I don't know if it's because I come from a polygamous background. I don't know if it's to do, maybe if I was in America, they would have taken me to a therapist by now. What's the problem, Miss Ibru? I don't know, but I have never felt that marriage is a big deal, particularly in Nigeria, because I feel it's an unfair institution towards the woman.
Women want to marry because they want to quench loneliness. I just don't like that idea of, okay, marriage. How would the society see me at this, when you're 35, 36, 40, 41, you're not married, you don't have a child. Marry for the right reasons. Otherwise, I believe you just stay single. Really, I believe in marriage, don't get me wrong.
But it's not a do or die
Yes,
affair.
I think you should be more knowledgeable. It's not about hugging, kissing, or having sex. You should be more knowledgeable about what you're about to get into, because sometimes marriage can truly and really, it can derail you. You end up getting married to a man, and you have your own dreams. The man doesn't even believe in those dreams, So I understand where she's coming from. Maybe she's had her own fair share of experience. I have been there before, and I think it was more like societal pressure, like I said, So when I realized myself, it wasn't really working. I just had to just take a long walk, and then I never looked back. And things have truly, truly changed. You can really be your best as a single woman.
I wanted to go back to, when we're talking about societal pressure to get married, especially for young women today, It almost feels as if without a man or that title as Mrs. something, you have no self-worth. You almost like you disgust yourself, as strange as that might seem.
What shocks me also is that they're younger and younger women now
yes.
who just want to go into marriage, not probably really understanding.
I mean, you barely even
difficult it is
understand
yourself.
or know who you are, or not even know how to take care of yourself. You're only just figuring out so many of these things, talk less of adding another person's opinion, psychology, and all of that into the mix. So I really don't understand it.
That's why when I said earlier, knowledge is very key. It's key to any relationship. And I also talked about intrapersonal relationship. When you know who you are and what you want, you won't feel worthless when you know you do not have, at a certain age, you're not able to settle down, and make yourself. For me, or for a lot of us seated here, some of us are married. I can see your ring, I can see your ring, and all of that.
No, I'm not married.
Friendship.
Still free.
Marriage is not the shortcut to curb loneliness. Friendship, for me, any relationship,
It's key.
Friendship is...
You're able to be with a partner who understands you totally, and both of you understand yourself. You're able to talk about anything and everything. You're able to trust.
Yes.
You're able, because I know love is not enough in any marriage. Love is more like, okay, when there is no more love, what next? Wisdom, knowledge, understanding is what is
Respect, trust.
And the friendship.
And, selflessness. A lot of us are so self-centered. You go and buy yourself this car, you didn't buy for me. Take your eyes off material things, for goodness sake, and focus on making that union work. And am I talking too much? Please?
No, I'm listening to you intensely, actually. For me, I believe I can't manage marriage, if you know what I mean. It's not something that, people say, you have to work hard, like you said, the trust and this and that. You have to work hard at marriage and this is that. Me, I don't want to work hard at it. I work hard at my work. I manage the outside of my life. When I leave my house, I manage finances, I manage this, I manage that. I will not come into the house and manage a man.
I strongly believe that a marriage is about friendship, as you said. There is the love and everything, but there is friendship. Why? Because in your early years, when everybody's busy running all over the place, doing their own thing, it's youth, it's, trying to acquire and so on, in your old age, who do you really, really, really want to be spending time with? Your friend.
My cat.
Okay.
Lisa, you wanted You wanted to say something about the financial situation, because I think a lot of girls do jump into the marriage as well because they feel that a man is a form of security and stability.
Security and stability, even the men. Because a woman does not have something she's really doing.
Yes.
You're your own.
You've got a point.
The world we live in today is so crazy. Nobody wants to be a liability to anybody. Even the women, the men. In fact, I've heard men having their very silly discussion one evening, and they're saying that I will not go and settle for a woman who does not have a house, does not have a car, does not have a good paying job. Meanwhile, ask him what he's doing.
Noreen, I was saying that Nigeria specifically is an unfair institution for women, and but there's a place I went to Lebanon recently, beautiful place, but that's another story. But what was shocking to me was that I was expecting to land in a desert full of women wearing hijab and speaking Arabic, and what I landed in was a beautiful island full of Catholics and Muslims living peacefully together, and they're quite liberated. There's alcohol, it's very Americanized, and the women are free spirited.
Where is this place? I like to go.
Lebanon.
Visit. No, where in Lebanon? Where? It's not every part of Lebanon.
I went to Beirut. I went to a few places. It's very small, but I was mainly in Beirut.
Okay.
Anyway, one lady was now gisting, and she said, "So, you're not married?" I said, "No." And she said, "Do you want children?" And I said, "I have a child." And she said, "Ah?" She was so shocked. And I said, "Why are you so shocked?" She said, "In Lebanon, you cannot have a child unless you are married. The child will not even be registered as a citizen of Lebanon." So that brings me to what I said before. My main concern for women that are getting on.
This is serious.
Don't wait for any man to marry you if you never born. That is my own main concern. Go and have your baby. I chose my father's child. When I met him, after a few months, I said, yes, this is the one that will give me what I need, and if anything happens to me, God forbid, I know that my child will not suffer. This one a better person.
But does he love you? Does he love the child?
Of course he loves me. He's not with me anymore. We've been separated for
Reason being
4 years.
Let me pry. You don't want to settle.
He's a man.
Oh my God. Oh Lord.
But no, really, we're very, very good
I love
friends.
marriage.
Very good. He just got married.
He got married. I love their union. I love that sense of
Well, we can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree.
It has been
So
fun.
we're going on a commercial break, and when we get back, Chigo will be doing her amazing special comedy segment. We'll be right back.
We're having the time of our lives.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, my sweets and my chewing-gums, Nigeria, Africa and the world over. It's your girl again, Che Girl. Any other one is a what counterfeit. And I'm here today, to discuss some certain things with you. The last time you saw me, I was on my feet. I was standing up. But this time, I'm on sitting down. You might wonder why I'm on sitting down. Let me tell you why. Because this one I want to discuss today is a sitting down something. I can't talk it while I'm on my feet. You understand me? So I'm sitting down to discuss to you this issue about marriage. Really and really, the ultimate question is you're going to ask yourself, is it for me? Is marriage my portion? Is marriage my cup of tea? Is marriage going to float my boat? Hello, think to yourself, is it for you? Don't just whoop at yourself and jump head into something that's going to bring you calamity. It's a waste of your time. Make sure that this marriage is 10, because it's not a joke, it's an institution, that is supposed to keep you and you're somebody locked down to get a picture come for a long time. And if you misbehave, you now find yourself like a boat without a sail on a water that is just going nowhere, but going. And that's a bad destiny. So this one I'm here just to tell you people, if you need it, you want a marriage, help yourself. That's your market. Do what God will help you. But if it's not for you, think about it, pray about it. If you have to do 40 days drive, do your 40 days dry. I'm sure the Lord will answer you just because of that 40 days. Don't just enter it anyhow. It's not sure you're going to buy in the market. You understand? This is something that will, enhance your life for years and years to come. Even this thing of, why you're going to do the marriage, wedding this, wedding that. I've thought to myself, I just pity some men sometimes, because there are some cultures that, by the time you see the list of things you're going to buy, you say to yourself, how about we run to the nearest dibia or babalawo to just join us in union and call it a day. Because these days, you got to check your list before you got to fall in love. Check your list before you fall in love. You are buying buttermint and sweet and oil just to tell someone that you want to be their wife. Nah! Stop that thing. But it's up to you. Depends on if you want to do it. Some people can't, some people can't. It's not by force. But this thing, really, it's a serious issue. Don't play with it. It's not a chingom matter. You understand? This is more like rice and bone. Very solid this thing. Think to yourself, is it for me? Check within yourself. Is it for me? Is it my market? Is it going to help me? If it's not, then my brother, my sister, my sweet, my chingom, come out of it before it's too late. But if it is for you, I wish you all the best life gonna offer. But think to yourself and think strong, think down. Hold yourself. Let's show that the person that is going to marry you show you a wow, wow love. And this is a song I wrote about a wow, wow love. Very simple this thing. Your love is a wow to me. Wow, wow, wow. I said your love is a wow to me. Wow, wow, wow. You know you're always gonna blow my head. We don't always have to be unmade. Your love is a wow to me. Wow, wow, wow. You know you're always gonna blow my head. Boom. We don't always have to be unmade. Your love is a wow to me. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you. Thank you.
In the time of our lives.
This is another one of those topics that people are passionate about, but sadly, we have to end things here. It's been a fun maiden edition of Walk the Talk with our 3 fabulous guests. We thank Jumoke Adenowo, Monalisa Chinda, and Elvina Ibru for sharing their views with us. As I sign off on today's episode, I'd like to leave you with the words of Anthony Robbins, who said, "The quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. Have a great week ahead and walk the talk. Pursue happiness always."
They don't understand our love. They say we're not good enough. No matter what they say, oh, we are. We're having the time of our